Yep.
Saddiq, how does it feel to get a win here tonight and break a 14-game losing skid?
Yeah, it's great, man. Get the monkey off our back. But we know that a lot of our losses, man, been close possessions and down the stretch. So I think it's just good to see that if we execute down the stretch, what we can do. But we got to build off it, man. We got to keep finding to win every game and take one day at a time. That's what we can do.
Yeah, it seemed like the defense was the story here tonight. What gave you guys that edge to slow down that Chiefs offense?
That's just the emphasis. Every time out. We didn't really care what was going on the offensive end, whether we missed shots, or no matter what happens, we knew that down the stretches we needed. We had a lead, so we had to make sure we get as many stops as possible to try to win.
How different was it for you in that role as the closer? They went to you when they needed a basket, and you came through on a lot of those cases too.
Just to try to play hard every day, but just to for me, just trusting my work and just try to play hard, and whatever the team needs from me and whatever we need from each other, I think we're comfortable doing, no matter what role. So that was my mentality.
You guys, were 2 of 20 as a team from 3, and obviously 14 straight losses. You'd expect some level of frustration, but there were so many hustle plays. So Trey Lyles blocking a shot at one end and batting the ball, hustling back and batting the ball with Kyle. Killing defense on the sideline there at the time. But where do you think that came from with everything going on and everything seemingly going against you guys?
Just playing to win. And we had a couple tough calls, a couple tough fouls. I was trying to play physical. Our coaches do a good job of telling us to play physical throughout the whole game. He's got to learn to do it without fouling as much. But I think, like you said, we were saying we were going to win the game on the defense end. So as many plays as we can make down the stretch, we know it was going to help us win the game.
What can you take away from this game? Just in this is the way that you should be finishing games. Just the lessons that you learned today.
Exactly. We should be finishing it this way, and even better with not as many free throws, not as many offensive rebounds. But we've been in this position before a lot of other games, right? So I think for us, we want to do the full 48, full 4 quarters. Not going to be perfect, but we know that if we play together, we have a chance.
You've had 3 straight games over 20 now. Jeremy hasn't been in the lineup. Is there some connection between your scoring and a greater opportunity with Jeremy, or what's
No, my mindset is just to play as hard as I can. Whatever comes with that, I could live with at the end of the day. That's my mentality. Appreciate you.
Thank you. For you, is it just getting this extended playing time and then getting in that starting group that's giving you more energy and allowing you to find your rhythm and where you need to be there?
I think from day one, man, I just come in and I just deal the cards. I just deal the hand. I just play the hand that I'm dealt for the most part. I come out there, try to just work on my game, try to stay consistent. And every given night is something different, With the NBA, you play a different team, different minutes, different rotations. So just try to stay level-headed, stay consistent in the work, put the work in, and then just go out on the court and be me. I feel like in this league, I showed what I can do in this league, so I know what type of player I can be in this league, and I just gotta keep being confident in myself and my teammates being confident in me, same with my coaches, and just going out there and producing. That's all it comes down to, and having fun with the game. It ain't too much really to it.
You kind of touched on it, but obviously earlier in the season, you kind of teetered in and out the lineup, been pretty steady the last 3 weeks. And then to start, this past week, just kind of what was that conversation like with the coaching staff, and they decided to assert you in there? And how do you feel yourself fitting in with that unit next to Kate and Killian and everybody?
I feel like, I just, like I said, I ain't really talked to nobody during that time. Just play the hand that I'm dealt. Of course, every basketball player wants to be playing. I felt like I deserve to be playing, but it's a long year playing in the league as long as I've been. I know it's a long year. I know it's a lot of ups and downs, and you got to just trust your work. You got to trust your work. Of course, I know I belong on the floor. I think that every day. I believe in that every day. And the first thing to having good games or playing good or being a good team is believing. So once you believe in, I feel like everything else take care of itself. And we all young. I feel like people tend to forget, like, I'm 23 years old. So, I think I fit in well. And just keep building. I'm glad we got a win today. I'm glad we was able to go out there and execute the game plan. And we got to just keep building. I mean, we don't want to be on that other side that we was just on, but things happen in life. It's all about how you handle adversity. So, I mean, we're all going to have adversity thrown at us on a day-to-day basis. And those tough times determine humans.
What do you learn about your team tonight on a time when you're on a losing streak? At one point, you were 2 for 20. I think they were up 9 in the third quarter. It could have gone the other way, and yet you guys found a way to fight back.
I mean, if you've been watching us for the last couple of weeks, you'll see we've been up by 15, we've been down 10, we've been down 20, we've been all over the place. So it's just finally like saying enough is enough and understanding how to pull out those wins from everybody that's on our team, all 15 guys, just understanding like what it takes to win, how to slow down the pace when things are moving. I mean, we're a young team. I mean, we got some experience. And 2 point guards are young. So, I mean, with time, we're going to all learn. We're going to all keep getting better. And I just preach, man, just trust in the work. That's all it really is.
What was that post-game locker room like when you guys finally got back in there?
It was all smiles, all giggles, but staying level as well. We know what we just came out of. We know how it feels to be there. And hopefully everybody feels like we don't want to be back there. I know you guys don't want to be back there. We don't want to be back there. So let's just keep staying competitive. Keep bringing each other up. Keep having joy with this game. I mean, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Coach, you could just feel the energy from your guys from the very beginning tonight. From your standpoint, what was the difference you feel like?
One, I thought we made shots. I think, we were attacking the paint, we got to the free throw line. I thought that was a big thing that helped us. We didn't shoot the three very well, but we had some timely threes. I thought Saddiq Bey hit some timely threes. But to start the game, I just felt like getting back to defense. I thought we created a lot of offense with our defense, more so than anything else. And the camaraderie, everybody came in, did the job. I thought Corey came in and gave us a boost. Killian and Kate, and I told Cade, he didn't score. He scored 4 points, but he won the game with his passing. I thought he was very judicious with his passing, finding people on the kickouts, and that's what he's going to do. That's a sign of respect. Teams blitzing him, and the only way you get teams to stop blitzing you is to pass the ball and pick them apart, and he did that down the stretch.
Yeah, you touched on Saddiq. I mean, third game in a row where he scored over 20 plus points. What are you starting to see from him?
Well, one is his usage rate is up. He's involved in a lot of things. And again, he's in good rhythm shooting the ball. He's being very decisive instead of thinking about shooting. Instead, pump faking himself out of shots. He's decisive, and I think that's the biggest difference, bro.
I mean, at one point, you guys were 2 of 20 from 3. Shots weren't falling, but yet there were. You talk about the little things. There were a couple of plays. Lyles with a block shot on one end, the dunk at the other, flipping the ball from left. Were you impressed with as bad as the way things are going for your team, losing 14 straight to still show that kind of fight?
Oh, well, again, the 14 straight, I don't feel it bothers you, but that's not what this season's about. I'm not caught up in the 14 straight. I'm caught up in these guys growing and developing, and that's what sooner or later all the stuff is going to click. What you're talking about, Keith, I think 14 straight's a byproduct of such a young team, and I'm not going to put that on their back. That's on myself for playing them. But that's what we're here for, is to develop them. And so small victories, we talked about it before the game. One is Saddiq Bey playing his behind off. Another for me is Cade's passing down the stretch. So if we had not won the game, those would be going to be other small victories. And like you said, Trey Lyles blocking a shot. So growth, that's what we have to have a growth mindset throughout the rest of the season.
Even in a win, do you go back and look at this and say, here are lessons to be learned? And I know your emotion indicated, slow it up. There's no need. We got to run clock and really milk this thing down. And he was still going at 80 miles an hour. So
85. And so again, that's a young player. He and Killian both. Killian had a runner, and we're trying to burn clock, and they're running, so those things that you have to learn. And luckily we were ahead, but even if we weren't, there have been great teaching moments, throughout for the rest of the year, because again, K's going to see double teams, how he's going to play out, how he's going to pick teams apart. Now they have to take it off. So it was a good lesson from that standpoint also.
What kind of, go ahead.
Sorry. Tommy, I mean, he had 15 tonight, 7 for 9. He's a guy that's just been doing the little things. Hustling. Just how big is that been?
Huge. Oh, I mean, Hamid, I'm so proud of him, how his energy he's bringing. He's playing the right way. I think he may have taken a happy, feel good 3 in transition pull up, which was not a good shot, but I give him a little leeway with that one. But his energy, his rebounding in traffic, it was big time. But just the way he brought the energy, and Brooke asked about the spirit, I thought he brought that same intensity to start the game. And you got to be on attention to detail when you're guarding guys like Duncan Robinson and Max Strauss, the kid from DePaul. Where they got those kids, I have no clue, but they can shoot the ball, and the kid Benson. So anytime you're chasing shooters like that, if you make the least little mistake, they're going to burn you in. And I thought we did a good job throughout the game to hold this team to 37% from the field and 30% from 3, because they're a very, very good 3-point shooting team.
What can a win like this do for just the morale in the locker room, especially when you have such a young group of guys?
Well, it reinforces your teaching. We weren't teaching anything different or talking about anything different than we've been all year. But sooner or later, all that stuff is going to click. It's painful, as Keith gladly pointed out, that we lost 14 in a row. But yet and still, all those things are really, really teachable moments, and it's easier to teach it, after, and reinforce it after you win, bro. Do you like that, Keith?